Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Fourth and Neat. I'm Fred Minnick, joined with Pro Football Hall of Famer Jared Allen. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Happy Thanksgiving, brother. This is fantastic. A Thanksgiving Day podcast. First time I've ever done one.
Is that right?
It is.
I might have done one before, but first time with you. So
yeah, for sure. By the way, do you ever get confused wearing these headsets? Like you feel like a DJ sometimes. You just want to just scratch some records. Yeah.
You know, I never did the scratching of the records, and for me, headphones just like remind me of some kind of some kind of military operation where I had to listen in on something. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good point.
For me, it's different. It's more of like, am I going to be in trouble for pushing the wrong button kind of thing? People don't understand that the military, you're serving, it's honorable, it's awesome, everybody loves you when you're in uniform, but there is an enormous amount of like, am I going to get in trouble? It's like,
it's strict.
So much anxiety.
It's very, very strict. Hey, you know what they say? It's not for everybody, but we appreciate the ones that are cut above. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely is. It's definitely a fear-based motivational system. But I get it. You know what I mean? It's like I get that because I'll be honest, I want the guy who's protecting my six to be afraid of doing something wrong and getting me killed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want happy-go-lucky Charlie back there who accidentally, missed a crucial sign or something. You know what I mean? I need you locked in, focused. But it probably doesn't. It doesn't. I know sometimes it doesn't translate well back to civilian life because, like you said, you're built with all that anxiety with no real, with no real way to. What's the word I'm looking for? Get rid of it.
Yeah, it is a constant. I think some people take like the military training and they go with it. For me, it was the complete opposite. I cannot get up at 4:00 in the morning unless, we have to go somewhere for a wrestling tournament or something like that. Like if I have to get up, of course I can do it. But I mean, I was forced to get up at 4:00 in the morning so much that it's in my mind of like, I'm never going to get up early ever again.
I get it. It's your willful defiance. Now that you're retired, right? From the military, it's your willful defiance.
That's right.
I'm that way with working out. I'm like, even today, I'm like, I know I need to get in the gym. I know I need to do it. I have zero desire to lift weights. I used to love working out. I used to love being in the gym. And now I have zero desire. Once I get in there, I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad. And it's right upstairs. It's literally above me. And I'm like, I find every excuse not to do it. Now I'm very active.
Yeah, you're still. You're still putting up fences and fixing chicken coops, and that's exercise.
Yeah. Oh, but the thought of lifting weights, like, no, ma'am.
Well, so for all those who are serving and are deployed or are stuck on base because the orders of a battalion colonel or whatever, I just want to say thank you for your service. This is not a fun time to be serving, but hopefully the post command or the chef or wherever you are has a little treat for you this Thanksgiving.
Did you spend any Thanksgivings deployed?
Yeah, I was in Iraq for Thanksgiving, and it was, we had Turkish cooks, so they made. I'm telling you, they could cook. They made so much good food. But
okay, so you didn't have to eat MREs.
No, there was no MREs, and
if you had to choose one MRE for Thanksgiving, what would be the one?
They all kind of ended up tasting the same. There was one that had like water chestnuts in it. I think it was, and I don't even think it was like a Chinese dish, but it had water chestnuts in it or something like that, and I liked the crunch of it.
Okay,
but at the end of it all got drowned in Tabasco sauce.
And dude, when I was on the USO tour, I was crushing like the red beans and rice. Just
yeah,
that was delicious.
You probably still have those in your belly.
Oh, guaranteed, guaranteed. It's like 3,500 calories that never leaves you.
No, it's like stuck right there in your intestinal lining,
in your gut.
It creates like a new trajectory of what's going through your colon. It's like a brick in there, but. Well, yeah, it was great. Honestly, that was a real memorable thing. Someone got like a blow up chicken or a blow up turkey, and had it in the DFAC. So that was a memorable moment there.
Nice.
One of the few times I actually got to sit down with my unit for chow.
Yeah,
because we were always spread out all over the country.
So now, is it like what was it? I think it was World War II, wasn't it? Like Christmas Day, they called a truce.
Yeah, World War I, there were truce.
World War I, World War II, there was truce, like on holidays, and guys like literally were like breaking bread together on opposite sides and going back to fighting and killing each other. Was there any unwritten rules like, hey, man, we're going to take Thanksgiving off?
God, no, because you remember, this was like, you're not in a Christian country, you're in a Muslim country.
Thanksgiving's not a Christian holiday, it's just an American holiday.
Well, fair, but like for Christmas, and also the enemy in that part of the world is like, oh yeah, go ahead, we'll take the day off. All right, we got the coordinates here. Let's go ahead and drop that mortar.
Yeah, they are relaxed. We are going to attack. Which, and in warfare, why not?
Well, it's also it also is if you know your enemy, you know how to use that against them.
Correct.
So there you go. Not many times did they get set up for things like that. So the Americans are very, very good war fighters. Like when they have when they have the full ability to war fight.
Yeah,
when we have the ability to no directives over us, like, okay, you can shoot this way, but not that way, which, oh, by the way, the enemy's that way. Like when we were in Bosnia or Kosovo, I don't remember the country, they were full on like throwing Molotov cocktails at us and shooting at us. And they're like, oh, you can't shoot back. I'm like, I literally have a slug in my leg. Nope. Can't shoot back. That's against it's a war crime.
In most states in the United States, you could defend yourself from stand your ground. Like I can. This is legal. This is legal most every places except during wartime.
It was so. The stories I heard from people who were in Kosovo. I feel like they never got a lot of appreciation because we basically 2-3 years later we're in Afghanistan and Iraq. Yeah. But those guys who were in Kosovo and Bosnia, they had to go through a lot of stuff and had no power behind them to defend themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the rules of engagement are a tricky thing. I know my buddies down in that were in Afghanistan, and they said they would literally be watching guys. They knew they were Taliban. And they knew they were moving, munitions and stuff across ridgetops and had to just let them pass because they were plain clothes. And at that time, there was like, you could only fire upon uniforms, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And he's like, they were plain clothes. We know exactly what they're doing. And we had to sit there and just watch it go. And then next thing you know, that guy is up the ridgetop shooting at you.
Yep. That's right.
So crazy times, but guess it's it. So God bless our service members. You guys really do rock.
Absolutely. And to that point, there's not a warfighter in this world that is better than the American soldier, Marine, airman, sailor, special forces, regular, enlisted, doesn't matter. When they have the full support of the country, there's not a single military that can touch us.
That's just freaking awesome.
Putting that
and speaking of that, did you see like the new, I think there's like a new AI-driven stealth bomber that we got coming out or something like that. Like,
yeah,
it's in protocol. Like this, the Gen 7, the Gen 7 that's coming out looks nasty.
Yeah, anything that we know about that they release now has been around for probably like 10 years, right?
Oh yeah.
So if they're showing that to us now, just imagine what they really have. And you're seeing all these like videos of like robots and everything. I'm like, I'm so glad that I don't have to like.
Hey, maybe we unlocked the alien technology first. Maybe we did. We did.
We made it. I didn't think we were going to talk about aliens here, but
I'm telling you, ever since we've had Dr. Storlow on, everything, dude, all of a sudden it's like, boom, I sent you that thing about the, the documentary that's coming out about 80 years of cover up with like high ranking officials. And then I just sent you that article about a police helicopter having to do a nosedive after UFOs were chasing him. Yeah. Granted, they were drones. UFO obviously does not mean alien. I get that, but this helicopter had to freaking use evasive maneuvers because it was getting attacked by these drones. And then he said they disappeared and then they just vanished.
Yeah.
Man, so
It's everywhere.
there's craziness going on out there. But with that said, I hope everybody has an amazing Turkey Day.
What do you like to eat for Thanksgiving?
Oh, I'm a traditionalist. I really am. I mean, you give me a great oven. I will smoke a turkey. I mean, I like fried turkey, but I will put a turkey in the smoker. I love doing that, but give me a delicious oven roasted, just basted turkey with, with good old fashioned stuffing, mashed potatoes. You know what? I'm a traditionalist. I really am. Some cream corn. Everything, and a lot of stuff we try to save over, like, green beans. We'll probably do the tradition. Actually, we did green bean casserole last year. I think it was for the first time. I have never been a really big green bean casserole guy. And then, but it was cool because, they were green beans from the garden and stuff like that. So
nice.
But yeah, I mean, can you really beat a plate of turkey, stuffing, and mashed potatoes? Smothered in gravy. Just smother me in gravy, you old man.
For me, that's a combo of unbuttoning my pants and passing out on the couch.
Yeah, which is the greatest thing ever, right?
Yeah.
It's like I snack all day because we got to have a charcuterie board early in the morning, or mid afternoon because you got football on all day. So it's like, you know what? I'm grazing. I'm a grazer, so I'm just grazing. Next thing you know, it's okay to crack a cold one at 11. It is. The game has started. Oh, and then you take a little midday nap. You get up and you graze. But yeah, so I mean, I love food, and so man, Thanksgiving is great. But yeah, you give me that traditional plate. But here's a funny Thanksgiving story about me. So, we used to go to my stepdad's mom's when she was alive for Thanksgiving. When we do kind of eat at our place and then go over there. And I'd be honest, I was never experienced to I'd call more soul food, right? More like a southern. So she had cornbread stuffing and roast beef gravy and like all these things that were very, very, foreign when my mom and stepdad first started dating to a, very Norwegian kid who had lepsa, turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy, right? All of a sudden, sweet potatoes, all this stuff. So I'll never forget, I think I was 17 years old or something like that, 17 or 18. I'd come from somewhere I was starving. My mom and stepdad have been together since I was in 7th grade. And so I went over there, I was starving, and my grandma just made me a massive plate, and she was just basically, you're eating this. There's no choice anymore. Because my mom, when I was little, used to bring my own little separate Thanksgiving over. It was the greatest food I'd ever tasted in my life. I feel like I missed out being a traditionalist on so many great different options. So now, we do have we have our staples, and then, we try to throw a new thing in there every once in a while. How about yourself?
So this is actually the first year that we as a family are not cooking.
Ooh.
We're getting in a bunch of things from different restaurants.
Okay.
And I kind of when Jacqueline and her mom decided this, it was like, this is how it's going to be. Don't try to interfere. Like when my mother-in-law says something, I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Yes, man. And if you're not cooking, if you're not the chef, if you're not the one cooking,
that's right.
Then you just shut your mouth and eat. Right.
So when her husband was still with us, Charles, who was a great man, he always made ham. Right. So that was his thing. So ham would be he would glaze it and honey it. And then we would have turkey, her, CJ, her son, my wife's brother would make the turkey. He's actually a chef, and no one wanted to put in the work to do the cooking this year. And I would make a side here and there, and believe me, I'm the guy making the cocktails. So,
yeah, you got work to do.
I'm the
you
booze
got work
guy.
to do. Yeah, you can't mess that one up.
Yeah, now no one say don't make the punch.
It would be like your brother-in-law. It would be like your brother-in-law coming in and be like, "Hey, Fred, take a break. I got the booze this year." You're like, "Bro, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane."
Mm-hmm.
So if that's not your lane, you don't get to make the decision.
That's right.
Right. Yep. So, but we love to cook. It's just going to be our family, and my mother-in-law. And so kind of a small deal. We had a little friends Thanksgiving, a Friendsgiving, if you will, last year, some friends over. But yeah, we're still going to cook. It'll be still way too much. Cause I think the best thing about Thanksgiving, and a lot of people are like, oh, the people. No, No, the leftovers.
Yeah.
Are you a leftovers guy? Because I'm a huge leftovers guy.
Oh, yeah. So I like actually watching the cooking shows of what to do with leftovers. And like, there's all of these like ideas of what to do with dressing and the cranberry sauce. And I mean, some of it looks disgusting, but then you try it and you're like, I would never, ever have attempted this. It's like a garbage truck of food, but it's so
yeah. Like,
good.
dude, I saw Bobby Flay make waffles he made waffles out of the leftover stuffing, and then made like a brunch with like, you know, waffle as your bread, and then like a turkey sandwich with cranberry sauce on. I was
man.
like, oh, come on, Bobby Flay.
That's awesome.
You're teasing people now.
That is.
So yeah, we do. Now I'm getting all excited. Now I'm getting all hungry.
Well, you know, one of the things that
let us know if anybody's got any wacky, quirky, fun, you know, Thanksgiving dishes or
I want to know your tradition.
I want to know more about it.
Yeah,
I want to try some new stuff every now and then.
My God, one thing that will not be here with us next year for Thanksgiving, they may still be hanging around a little bit, and that's food dyes. So that's
good. It's about freaking time.
So it's been a big movement to get rid of particular food dyes. You know, M&M's just, you know, came out in the last couple of months, said they're getting rid of it. There's been a lot of like candy companies saying they're getting rid of food dyes. And one of the things I kind of wanted to bring up here and talk to you about, because you are so passionate about this, like this is something that they could actually probably do this year, but they're waiting until next year.
They could all do it, right? So here's the deal. Everybody wants to prolong it. They want to say, oh, we got to change this, change that. Now, granted, there might be some moving parts as far as inventory they got to dump. Right. But yeah, why not do it? They already do it for European countries. A lot of these dyes, a lot of these food additives are banned in most European countries, right? And the reality is the dyes is just one step. I mean, Skittles is still trash. It's fake. It's not even real food. Like Skittles is banned in a lot of countries. I think it's 11 countries Skittles is banned in, right? Could even be 13. But yeah, so Skittles is trash. You know, candy in general is trash. Let's just be honest. So, yeah, but they're making it less trashy. And so, yeah, I just don't know why people won't want to do it. Like the research and the science, that's what really gets me and frustrates me. All the research is there. This isn't like we live in the dark ages anymore. And it's like, well, I don't know. So-and-so said this. I mean, you're talking Harvard Medical Schools. You're talking the Stanford. I mean, there's so much research and evidence that the food dyes are linked to so much crap. And a lot of these food dyes, Fred, are banned in cosmetics. So like they're not good for your skin, but yeah, let's ingest them. That's just dumb. So at some point we shifted in this country to profit over people. And I'm saying this as a capitalist, right? I mean, but you have to get back to putting people and health, you know, in the forefront. And the crappy part is most of the stuff is geared to kids, right? So we have an crazy unhealthy youth population. People are more and more stagnant, and it's just, you know, and they just get these kids hooked on all this crap at an early age, and it's a lifelong battle of, you know, big food and big pharma working together. So I'm glad they're doing it. I wish they would do it sooner. My fear is that with, you know, there's some companies that are waiting till like 2027 to do it. My fear is that they're just trying to prolong this to see if a new administration comes in, and if RFK is out, and then maybe the next administration doesn't want to stick to these food rules, which I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping people see health benefits, and that's why I want people to move sooner. You know, I know just myself how much better I feel since, you know, it's been years and years and years now since I went from eating conventional food to organic, you know, whole foods, and you know, we still eat everything. I think that's the misconception people think like, oh, you're not going to be able to eat all this stuff. I mean, trust me, food tastes better, right? You know, my kids still eat too much sugar. My wife bakes all the time, homemade sourdough. You go to Europe, I mean, you can eat for days, and you're walking and you're moving, and you don't feel bloated, and you're not putting on weight. I mean, Italy is one of my favorite countries, and if you're not eating in Italy, you got something wrong with you.
Italy's
so, yeah. You know, that's the problem is it's like, you know, from a food scene, we've gotten to a point where food is convenient. And then food is a profit margin. So it's just like, what barely legal, barely safe chemical can we replace natural food with? And other countries treat food as what it should be. It's a it's, you know, feeding your body. It's feeding God's temple. It's community, right? It's community. I mean, that's what we're celebrating Thanksgiving around. Everybody's excited about Thanksgiving because you're cooking, everybody's home or eating. They're, you know, your spirit needs that kind of stuff, right? So, that's my soapbox. I could keep going, but I'll stop it because people are probably going to get pissed about it at some point. But I mean, I just wish they would do it sooner. I just don't know. My point is like, if it's capable there, they sell products in other countries that this stuff is banned. Just do the right thing. Do the right thing. Make things healthier. Stop trying to, like, the evidence is there. People get sick from this. It leads to ADD, you know, ADD, ADHD. It leads to hypertension, anxiety. Like, we talk about having so much anxiety. It's not just social media. It's the food we put into our bodies. So, you know, it drives me nuts because the evidence is there. And it used to be, you know, you had to discern between, you know, evidence versus just theory. And now all these theories about how to properly eat or what should or shouldn't be in foods. And that's just, you're just talking about some of the dyes. There's still, I mean, we have over 10,000 chemicals in our farm system, right? Mm-hmm. I think Europe allows 400, right? You know, 400 is still a lot, but 10,000 is even more.
Well, I also want to say it is hard to shop and get food that is whole, that is organic. If you walk into your average grocery store, aisle after aisle, everything is in a package. And
it's ultra processed nonsense.
And if you even go to like the meat section, a lot of that meat is pumped with saline to be held longer, and even in some cases have dyes in them to make them look, you know, redder or a certain color.
Well, you know? Like you take conventional chicken. Conventional chicken's the worst, right? I mean, the farming conditions that these things are raised in is just absolutely terrible. But yeah, I mean, our food system is broken, especially in the United States. It really is. I mean, we went from, think about, you know, less than probably 100 years ago, everybody had gardens. You were shopping farmers market. You were shopping for that day, maybe 2 or 3 days, right? Yeah. Now, guess what? We have Costco, so people can store up and never have to go. Yeah, I want to go to the grocery store once a month. You know, I mean, that's why, you know, when you start talking to people about changing things, you say, you know, shop the perimeters of the store. You know, don't shop the middle. The middle of the store is actually just, you know, ultra processed garbage. You know, things like people probably don't even realize, you know, we use sugar. Sugar's highly addictive, right? Everybody knows that. You know, you want a cookie, you want 5 cookies. But you take like a pasta sauce, there's ketchup, like all these things you wouldn't even think about. There's added sugar in everything, right? And it's ultra processed. Usually it's ultra processed sugar, right? It's, you know, white sugar, ultra processed it is. And it's just to get you hooked and want more to crave. You know, that's one thing I learned on my honeymoon. I mean, I've been married, good goodness, going on 16 years. And we were in Italy and people were still walking down the stairs. We were up in Ravello and they would walk the stairs down to Minori's, these small farmers markets for those days groceries, right? You know, we were in France a few years ago. And every single day in the morning, there was a farmer's market and everybody was just getting their vegetables and meats and cheese. I mean, it was like an outdoor grocery store. It was the coolest thing ever, but people still eat and shop for those days, right? People are growing things and you know, and again, you know, life's crazy and you got a busy job and convenience becomes a factor, but you only get one life. I always say you either pay for it now or you pay for it later when you're on, you know, meds and in hospitals and stuff like that. So
that's funny. There was a nutritionist that told me that exact same phrase. First time I'd ever heard that. So it's
well, it's unfortunate, you know, because, you know, with big foods getting mass subsidies from the government too, right? You look and you say, oh, and you know, and you hear right now, groceries are too high. You know, the administration is trying to drive down the price of groceries. Well, what's causing that, right? Like, let's go look at the root cause of what's causing that, because at the end of the day, the only thing that's driving up, you know, food costs is going to be farmland prices, right? What does it cost to grow? And the reality is a seed. I mean, I can buy 100 pack of seeds for $2. You know what I mean? So it's just about your convenience, your fuel costs. It's like you said, it's preserving those things. Most fruits and vegetables travel like 1,500 miles before they get to your store shelf, right? Mm-hmm. So again, I mean, so prices are going up. And you're like, well, that's not the real cost of food, but inflation drives it up and then subsidies, you know, knock it down. And so the people growing real food, organic farmers, they're not getting those subsidies. And so, you know, they're like, well, why is an organic apple $8 and a conventional one $3? Well, you know, again, the whole supply and demand, and then what they're getting subsidized, or so it's a vicious system, and it's a rabbit hole that once you go down, you start going like, oh my goodness. Soil conditions. I think there was a stat recently, like 70% of our farmland doesn't even feed our country. Right, it's all soybeans and number 2 yellow corn, which is made for ethanol, and then the byproduct of that they ship off to the feed yards. And,
Yellowtude corn is also for bourbon.
Also for bourbon. Yep.
Yeah.
So back to the food size. I think the system's broken. I'm glad companies are, doing the small steps. There's massive more steps we could do. I would love the day you could go into a grocery store and not worried about, not have to read labels. Like reading labels with things you can't, pronounce it's ridiculous. But people trust in the government. I was reading something the other day, and it's, I listened to a podcast, and the guy was talking about how we basically been, just brainwashed, for lack of better words, to hear FDA approved. And that becomes like the gold standard. Well, the FDA approved it, right?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to just wheat being in flour, or, so it is what it is. But hey, kudos to the companies for taking those small steps. I wish more people would do it. And I'm glad for all the people out there fighting the good fight, because at the end of the day, I mean, I would argue in one of the best countries in this world, and to be a powerhouse and be a first world country, you shouldn't worry about the food you're putting in your body that could potentially harm and kill you later down the road.
Well, I think that's a great segue to talk about a Panthers player allegedly punching a 49ers player in the nuts. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, I don't know if he allegedly got hit in the crotchal regions or not, but I do know there's no alleging about it. After the game, the Niners player slapped the piss out of the Panthers player, and will probably get suspended or a hefty fine for that. Again, like, you just won the game. You really, a little junk tap is going to set you over. You should have handled it right then and there. If he hit you in the junk and it violated and you felt something, comes on away, walk back and then go melee him. I mean, cause now you just, you're costing your team and stuff like that. But you know what? I be honest, I'm kind of hoping there was like a little junk punch. Like, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. So the 49ers player in question is Juwan Jennings, going after Panthers player Trayvon Moehrig. Allegedly, Trayvon did the old junk tap, and Jennings wasn't having it after the game. But like you said, why wait till after the game?
Because to be honest with you, if a skirmish would have come, during the play, it's a 15-yard penalty, right? You're probably going to get a little fine. But you walk up and open hand slap, dude, and there's a melee after the game. Now you got all the cameras on. Now they're looking, and now old Mr. Goodell's got to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's not getting a Thanksgiving bonus. That is for sure. He's paying a little tax for that one.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, let's talk about crotchals.
Yes.
Right?
It's important.
I'm listening to yours. It's a good segue into you announcing your first wrestling matches.
Yeah.
I turn it on. I'll get on my ESPN Plus app, and I hear none other than the great Fred Minnick talking about a guy just shot a really great high crotch. And I could picture you doing this. I could picture you doing that. I was like, the first thing I do, I turn it on, and you talking about how clean a high crotch was.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, and it was great. And you did a great job between play by play and color. I would have thought you were a seasoned veteran at it.
Man, I appreciate that. Yeah. So I got the nod to call a duel between the Bellarmine Knights and Northern Illinois Huskies, two prominent mid-major wrestling teams, and I was my first time, and it's not like wrestling doesn't always have an announcer and a commentator and a sideline reporter. It was just
it made it great to watch.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
You did a fantastic job. And then the match I turned on was the kid. He goes down 9-2 or 7-2 to the NIU guy.
Yeah.
And then he battles back. And you know what? There's an old saying, fatigue makes a coward out of everybody.
Yeah.
That kid from NIU got exhausted.
Yeah, he was. He
got
spent
tired.
all that time trying to cradle the guy.
Yep.
And,
And then dude just took him down at will in the last round, and 3 points. But man, I thought you did a fantastic job. That's one of the first I watched like a full duel dang near.
Wow.
You catch sometimes I'll tune into the NCAAs or something like that, right? But man, what an exciting deal, and you did a great job. It was very educational. The pronunciation was well, and you didn't get distracted when I was texting you about saying hi crotch. I have a child, kid. I'm a big child. So, when I log on, my buddy's like, he's just shooting into the crotch.
It's funny. Like anyone who has wrestled or does jujitsu or just does any of those kind of like hand-to-hand combat sports, you got to be a little bit, you got to have a good sense of humor about body parts,
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of crotchels, there's a whole move.
Not to mention, go ahead.
I was going to say that there's a whole move called an oil check, right? Where someone's high on your leg and you're trying to get position and you'll stick your hand basically in their ass crack. And some people would dig in to get some leverage because you got to admit that's a good groove right there. That's a good groove where you can like get your hips out a little bit and then inflict a little pain at the same time.
What happened on that one? Coach, man, he got his fingernails and raked my taint. Like, I was gonna go with maybe like a wedgie. I'm like, does anybody ever give like a little wedgie? You know what I mean?
Well, you can't.
And you're over here talking about buttercup and other people.
So yeah, this is the thing about wrestling is like, it's illegal to grab the singlet. So if you like intentionally grab the singlet, that's a point. But if you dig your hand all the way up, all the way up in their business, even if you accidentally, let's go back to this 49ers game. If you get ball checked here, that happens.
Yeah.
You don't get penalized.
Like when you come in, you throw a high crotch route into like a fireman's carry, you could like throw that shoulder right over there, right into that jump and just whack.
Mm-hmm. You can also... You can get away with some chokes here and there. I mean, really.
Well, like a front headlock. I'm actually shocked guys aren't really getting choked out on some of those front headlocks. Those are kind of nasty.
Yeah, it does happen, especially in Greco. And you got to remember, there's no tapping in wrestling. Yeah. There's no tapping.
Yeah. You just go to sleep. Now, do you get penalized if you put a guy to sleep?
No.
Then why are we not choking people out in wrestling? Here's the other thing I noticed.
They will call the refs in folk style. They will call it danger. They'll keep an eye out for it. They're usually pretty good at it.
Okay.
At the lower levels, they will be very mindful of the neck. But I'm like,
I did hear you call it. There was a danger call in one of those matches, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of danger calls on the legs.
But that's good. The guy's knee was tweaked up, and they called it a danger call. And I had never heard that before, and because I was like, in MMA sometimes you might get something crazy, right? But then you get to restart in that advantage position, in that position. But I saw like they stood him up, didn't they?
Yeah, they'll reset.
They just reset,
and it's also the sport's in a situation where a wrestler who's about to get taken down, and they know it, they will purposely put their leg in a danger area, so they get reset. So I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like that technique, but a lot of people use that.
Especially bringing them to neutral. You feel like maybe you should at least put them back. Like, okay, move your leg out of the danger area. If you're deep in on a single, right? You should go back. At least be like go back into a single leg. Like in MMA, they'll call north. In jiu-jitsu, you have the north-south position, right?
Yep.
Do they call that same thing in wrestling? Because I see the one in wrestling, like the guy's he's like ankle picking him from the back. He's got his junk on the back of the guy's head because the other guy's trying to grab a single.
So that you're kind of referring to like the waterfall position.
Okay.
So that's what they call it. It is funny. There's all these cross terms, like guillotine in wrestling is something different than jiu-jitsu. It's there's all kinds of different terminology back and forth. the Russian tie will typically be called a 2-on-1 because American wrestlers don't want to give any credence or credit whatsoever to the Russians. So
hey, I get it, but you know what? Secretly, we're both working together against China.
That's it. Yeah.
Just saying.
It is a long story. Long story.
It's not that long.
No,
just go back and watch a few episodes ago.
But it's true.
It's true. Yeah. Speaking of truth, football will be played on Thanksgiving. Football will be played. A lot of games. So let's. How about our Vikings struggling still?
Yeah, it's rough
on the struggle bus right now.
You know, there's a big movement to bench McCarthy.
You know what? It wasn't good. It wasn't good. But I do still say, again, you got to have patience. You got to give some leniency to the coaching staff and assume they know what they're doing, right? Because I mean, you just look at the history of what we've done with other quarterbacks there. And so, kind of give them some grace. But it's tough because you're right in the division, right? You're sitting there. We're 3 games out. Could be 4 depending on, how this, I guess the Bears won. So we are 4 games out of the,
the Bears are like, keep winning.
And so, yeah, we got to see some improvement, but who do you go with, right? Like who's the backup? Carson Wentz is out. His shoulders, he had that surgery. Exactly. That's my point. You don't know his
Brock
name.
Mesner or something like that.
Brock Lesnar. We're going to bring Brock Lesnar back. We're going to bring Brock Lesnar back.
Hold on. What's this guy's name? It's
my point is you don't know. Nobody knows.
Max Brosmer.
No, you can't. You're over now. We're just pulling straws. But
that's his real name. His name's Max Brosmer. That's
you probably had to Google it. My point is we don't know. So you don't know. So JJ's probably the better option. But it stinks. I mean, we really got to think he's got to get that run game strong. We got to get those O-line moving forward. Play action pass, get my guy Hawk and JJ in there,
Now Hawk has been looking good.
You got Justin Jefferson. And I'll come throw the ball to Justin Jefferson 50 times a game. But still, I think
hey, listen.
Sucks. But hopefully we got a run. We got plenty of games left.
You gotta establish the run. You
have to. I agree.
Take all the pressure off this young quarterback. Establish the run.
I agree. I agree. Run it. Especially when you're 50% completion ratio, you got a better chance of running it.
It's not that bad. I mean,
it is. I think it's like 52%. I think even last game might have been like 46%. It wasn't good. But again, like I said, I still have faith. I still like the pick. I really do. I know I sound like an insane person. I still like the pick with JJ. Our team, I think we're on the precipice of being really, really good. Just, we've had so many great years. You kind of have a little dip and, you retool, you get guys going and, we'll figure it out. Hopefully I think we still are very in the hunt for a wild card and we get it figured out. Now, what I didn't like to see is that, I read something that, McCarthy's in the concussion protocol now.
Yeah.
Right. I want to give the kid the benefit of the doubt. I do. But it's like, I hope it wasn't like, crap, I don't want to have to answer media questions today.
Yeah.
The light hurts my eyes. You can get away with some stuff pretty easily. But no, the best part is if I'm looking for a way that Green Bay and Detroit can both lose, then that helps us out. So one of those is going to come back to reality.
What if they tied? So they're playing, as this airs, they're playing at the time that it airs. That the show airs, the Packers and Lions playing at 1:00 on Thanksgiving. So how do they both lose here?
They can't. Problem is Green Bay looks good. Green Bay's defense is playing well, but it's in Detroit, doing well too. So I think that's going to be, that'll be a battle, but one of them will slip back. Obviously one will stay at 7s. They'll put two teams, but a tie. I mean, I guess if they did tie, a tie is like a half loss for everybody, right? Green Bay already has a tie. Green Bay already has a tie, which is actually working in their favor. The Green Bay tie is actually working in their favor because they're ahead of Detroit right now.
Also, let's think about this. Since Dan Campbell has been taking over play calling, they have not looked the same. They've not looked as crisp.
You know what? I haven't watched enough of them, so I don't know, but that's what I've heard. I've heard it doesn't look the same. I just, I never really understood that, right? Because by taking play calling back from your offensive coordinator, you're basically saying I didn't hire the right offensive coordinator. when it's your job to hire him. So it's a double-edged sword, right? And so then if you do crappy, what do you do? Like, okay, now I can't call plays, so I got to give him it back to him. I'm a firm believer as a head coach, and it's happened so much. And most head coaches, they want their hands in everything. Like, your job really isn't to have your hands in everything. Your job is to create the best staff and create the best environment for your team to be successful. So it's like, what is I think it's Johnny Morton, or who's the OC there?
Let me go to Dr. Google. Yep, John Morton.
Yes. So what are you going to make him game plan for you all week, and then you're calling the plays on Sunday? I just feel like if you're going to move on, move on. If not, let the man call the plays. So, but I don't know. I mean, they're won. So I guess as long as you're winning, I guess that's a good thing.
What's the over under for Micah Parsons sacks?
Ooh, man. Yeah, because if Philly got to him, a ton. I don't know. They're going to have something for Micah. They'll have something for him. I'm actually concerned. I mean, I think they run the ball so well. That's their bread and butter. That's why Goff has such good games. They run the ball so well. I'll say he's going to have one. Okay. He had two against the Vikes. I don't know that he's going to pop off for two back to back. Although Myles Garrett, this dude is he's getting 5. He's getting 3. This dude's
Myles Garrett is having one of the most
quarterback.
Myles Garrett is having one of the most dynamic seasons we have ever seen. And he's on the frickin' Browns.
You know what? It's crazy how it happens. When I had 22, we were 3-13.
Ooh.
Yeah. So sometimes the sun shines and the team ain't doing so well. But Shedeur Sanders got to play, and he got to start, and they won. So maybe we can stop hearing about the quarterback controversy in Cleveland, and they can just let the kid play. I mean, they don't have anybody else either. Let's be honest. No, everybody else is gone.
Well,
so
you remember a shot. Remember what Mike said last week, Mike Garafolo, who joined us from the NFL Network. He said that Shedeur Sanders is a top 50 NFL guy based on name recognition and everything. So
yeah, they need that in Cleveland, right? They need something positive in Cleveland. And so if he can go out there and he can win games for him and play decent, I mean, you need it. So kudos to them. And I love Kevin Stefanski, so hopefully they can figure it out there. But that franchise, it just stinks because it's such a storied franchise, right? I know it's not the original Browns franchise, but let's be honest, it's the Browns.
Right.
And so I just, Cleveland's one of those iconic football towns, right? You want them to do well. So
think of that great offensive line they had a few years ago, and Joe Thomas getting wasted.
Yeah, because they never had anybody sustainable at the quarterback position.
They had Baker Mayfield, and then just oh, you're hurt a little bit. Well, go away.
See ya. Yeah, but anyways, and then what's the other game? Dallas Chiefs.
So this is a game,
fun game
to me that whoever wins could win the Super Bowl. Like, they have that ability to catch a wave and ride it all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just feel like Dallas finds a way to tank itself. Like, they find a way just to not do good in the playoffs. But it's a big game. They go and beat Philly, right? And now they got Kansas City at home. I mean, you have to win this if you're Dallas. Otherwise, you're going to play this 500 game, right? But Kansas City's in the same way. You got Denver 9-2, I think, right? And they had a bye week.
And a head-to-head against Kansas City.
And they got the head-to-head. Kansas City needs to win. So Kansas City's fighting for that wild card. I don't know that Kansas City can get back in and win this division. So they're fighting for the wild card. But I mean, again, you look at what Kansas City's done over the last, 10 years. It feels like it's been, dude, those, like you said, they get hot, they win. I thought they lost the Colts game. I thought Google News this morning was fraudulent when it said they won over the Colts. And I was like, pretty sure I saw that score and it was 20-9. They didn't win that game.
Now, hey, listen, this is a conspiracy theory in the NFL, and it plays out a lot, but the stripes tend to like Mahomes a little bit.
There's two. So Green Bay 100% gets more calls than anybody else. Someone needs to run some, heck, we have AI now. Just have AI run some data analysis on it. But yeah, the top quarterbacks tend to get more calls. They're a little favorites. I mean, Andy Reid, everybody loves Andy Reid. How do you not love Andy Reid? And,
well, if you're a hot dog, you don't.
You just went there. Do you even know if the guy likes hot dogs? I hope not. Hot dogs are nasty.
I'm pretty sure he likes hot dogs.
Yeah, I'm sure the guy likes food.
Assumption.
Consumption. But I mean, the hot dog probably loves Andy Reid. He's like, I'm going to eat my.
If I'm going to go to a belly,
I'm going to
I want to be in Andy Reid's belly.
Yeah, that's a good winner. I'm in a champion's belly. I mean, come on. The guy's commercials on. Why have they taken him off the State Farm commercials?
He's really good.
He's the greatest.
I love the one where he came in and gave Mahomes a mustache. That was
fantastic.
So good.
Let that man be him. Come on, State Farm. Put him back on there. Because some of the new ones are just, they're reaching. They're reaching. Hey, I don't even know what we were talking about now. Chiefs Dallas.
Yeah, Chiefs.
Right, so who do you got? Who do you think the game is more pivotal for?
I think it's bigger for Dallas. Kansas City, just things fall their way. I think Dallas they have to get the confidence back, and they need and that win at Philly was one of those moments. Like, did you see the kid on the kickoff?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch any football this week.
Okay, you got to watch this. There's this
I heard about it. Okay, I did hear about this play.
It's unbelievable. Like, he got knocked over 3 times, got up, caused a fumble. You know, it just was like, you want to show this clip to everybody who's ever played the game.
Can't coach that. Can't coach effort. Can't coach heart. Sorry. So who do you got? Who do you got? Kansas City or Dallas?
I got Dallas. I think Dallas finds a way to win.
Yeah, I'm going Kansas City. Just because I don't know. I've just never been a big Texas or Dallas fan. Sorry.
Well, you also got drafted by Kansas City, and I think
I did. And I was just there banging the drum. And let me tell you this. You know what? I'm going to give. I don't usually do like player shout outs and stuff like this. I will say. So I'd never met Mahomes or Travis Kelce before I was over there banging the drum. Right, but I guess it's like a month ago now, and or a couple months. Yeah, a little over a month ago, 6 weeks ago. So we went down to the locker room area afterwards, right? And they came out. Talk about the 2 nicest guys to my kids. Like Travis came out. I know the equipment manager, so my kids wanted to meet Travis, and so he went and got. He came out, dude. Talked to him, took pictures with him, hung out, gave me a hug. I talked to a super nice guy, and then Mahomes was on his way to an interview, and you know, because those dudes, I mean, there's stardom, and then there's, you know, you get up here, right? And it could be it's external stuff too, but sign on records. So kudos to them. I mean, 2 of the biggest names in today's football world.
I'd say of all time. They've got they're big, man.
Took the time for my niece and nephew, my 2 daughters, to come and just, you know, say hi to them, take pictures with them. It was a pretty cool deal.
All right.
For them at least, because they're like, Dad, we don't really care. We want to meet Mahomes and Kelce.
So what we're hearing is that Jared has been brainwashed by the Kansas City Chiefs to be picking them here in the near future. I love it.
Oh, no, I just, again, you look at, they're both coming off pivotal games too, right? You come back, when you have a comeback like that, all right, things start to click, right? And I think that's why I go back to Minnesota. Like when I saw JJ play against the Bears that first game, I'm like, do we have something? Dude, the ability to win on the road in those conditions, Monday Night Football, like against the Bears, and it's tough to play in Chicago, especially with Minnesota. I'm like, man, this is going to be special. Like there's moments, and you know, I just don't think he's able to capitalize on those moments yet. But you take a guy like Mahomes who's having these moments where you're down 20-9 and you come back and win. You know,
yeah, he's hard to beat.
Now you're just like, all right, guys, here we go. You know, we could beat anybody, anytime, any place. And Dallas is, in my opinion, I think Dallas is still searching for an identity. I think Dallas has been searching for an identity since,
Jimmy Johnson.
Since Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman left. But,
we got Jera. Jera's the identity.
Which is a problem too, right? Yeah. You know, I think, you know, Jerry Jones, heck of a nice guy. He's always been super nice to me. But at some point, you gotta figure out what that winning formula is. And, they're just so inconsistent. And then, you know, when you're called America's team, everybody likes to hate on you.
Yeah. Well, you called out Green Bay for getting more penalties. I do want to hear your thoughts on that. So you think Green Bay gets more love from the refs than the Kansas City Chiefs?
That's close. Well, when I was with Kansas City, we didn't get any love. I wasn't getting any special calls, that's for sure. These days, maybe they do. But, yeah, I don't know what it is. Historic, I just think, dude, the league loves Green Bay. They do. It just always seems like Green Bay gets a call that you're like, oh, okay. But I'm not feeding the conspiracy theory. I can 100% tell you from my personal experience, there's no, if there's any rigging in the NFL, we didn't know about it because we were out there trying to win games and crap would happen. And you're just like, goodness, you can't, guys not dropping the ball. You don't know when a guy's going to go punch a football out. There was never any production meetings like the WWE about, who's getting body slammed and who's fumbling on what yard line and stuff like that. But people legit believe that.
Oh yeah.
People legit believe that this is like a whole scripted entertainment system.
Well, the gambling, all these gambling things coming out, and it's not helping.
Oh, that is not helping. That is not helping. How about, what was that? There was just something that came out, 2 basketball players, right?
Oh, it's deep in the basketball community.
Yeah, there was something about, baseball, 2 pitchers. That's what, it's not basketball. Just recently, I think 2 pitchers for the Cleveland Indians, or what are they, the Guardians now. It's manipulating pitch counts or something.
All right, so Emmanuel Clace and Luis Ortiz allegedly rigged bets on individual pitches. The incident has prompted Major League Baseball to implement new safeguards with sportsbooks, such as a $200 cap on pitch-level wagers to curb manipulation. I did see that. To me, the big one has been the basketball ring, which has some of this stuff has also gotten into wrestling. A couple Rutgers wrestlers got caught up in like one of the crime families. So
here's the deal. Like, I never in my career from Pop Warner through NFL was ever approached anything like that stuff, right? And if you were, we used to have meetings like, FBI would come in, field office agents would come in before and talk about, like when we were in Kansas City, and talk about, hey, there still could be mob presences here. There's this or horse betting. So you always get these talks about where to avoid, what to do, stuff like that to look out for. And then, we have them in our preseason, the league would come in and talk about the same thing. People asking for injury updates. You're not supposed to give any of that. So, but the reality is, like, I don't get it for basketball players and baseball players and football players. Like, you're making a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much money did you wager on yourself to make it? Like, you decided to cheat your sport and cheat yourself and probably, ruin your legacy, ruin your career, get booted for how much? You're probably making more than that in a salary. That's my point. Now, a wrestler, I got nothing. And a guy comes and says, hey, here's a couple $100,000, I need you.
Well,
they weren't, it wasn't pinned.
They were caught up as like workers in like
they were in the crime family.
They're like in the ring of like crime family. Okay. Like helping move action and like a poker table or something. So
okay. But again, I'm like, you're making more money. Like when I saw Chauncey Billups, they really arrested the coach of the Portland Trailblazers. I'm like, that dude's a Hall of Famer. He got paid a truckload of money.
Yeah.
Again, insanity doesn't
make any sense.
It doesn't.
Our last game for Thanksgiving is Bengals versus Ravens, and this is one of those of like, how badly are the Ravens going to kill the Bengals?
Is Joe Burrow back?
No, they from what I last saw, he's slowly coming back, so it'll be Falco.
Yeah, Bengals. Oh, which is crazy. Like he's been scoring some points. I don't know what the score last game was, but he was previous weeks.
Yeah, he's actually having a great,
insane year. They're scoring 42 points and losing, right? I would argue their defense isn't good. So they need to step it up because they got. I know they got one good player over there. So like, come on, Bengals defense, let's get it rocking. But yeah, I don't know the Ravens. I mean, here's the deal. You got Lamar Jackson back, right? I would give the ball to who was it?
Joe Burrow is coming back. This just dropped. The Bengals anticipate Joe Burrow coming back. I don't know.
Still, I just give the ball to Derrick Henry 100 times and let him run for like 400 yards.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
I wouldn't risk Joe Burrow coming back.
No, because I think the offense has still been doing good. Joe Burrow's not going to fix your defense.
Yeah, Flacco's been great.
So I think, I think the Ravens probably run away with this one, which is scary because now they're in the hunt. And my 2 cents was that the Steelers were going to pull this one out, but Aaron goes down, and now the Steelers, they seem to be going 500, win one, lose one lately, and man, but that's why the sports are cool. That's why NFL is cool. It seems like anybody's game any week, except the Vikings. Except we are not in that talk in the North right now. We're down 4 games. Come on. It's the Bears of all. The Bears.
Yeah, the Bears have quietly taken control of the division.
Well, they were a good team. They got a coaching staff. It was evident that the coaching staff was holding them back the last couple of years,
Yeah.
But you could tell even last year, you could tell they had some good pieces, and you get a good head coach in there, and look what happens.
Well, after Thanksgiving, we got Black Friday. Do you do anything Black Friday?
I don't. Our tradition is we go get our Christmas tree, and start, day after Thanksgiving, we go full Christmas mode. So my wife, I'm sure she'll be online, maybe she'll do some Black Friday, but yeah, my only goal is not to do last minute shopping this year. Is try to figure out what I'm going to get everybody for Christmas. Don't go that route, but
one year I completely forgot to get my wife something, and it was like the night before, so Christmas Eve, right? Walgreens was like the only place open.
Here's a toothbrush, honey.
I got her a food processor, and she opened it up. She's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Well, who knew Walgreens sold food processors? They got KitchenAids at Walgreens.
Yeah, KitchenAids at Walgreens, and it's like, and
you got her some extra strength Advil and a food processor.
There's like a dozen dudes in there in like sweatpants and like t-shirts, and all looking at each other like, shit. I completely forgot. The toy section was completely raided. Just like, we were.
Great gift card. You're like, what gift cards do you have here? What gift cards do you have? Hey, the Amazon gift card, that's like an endless gift right there.
That's a big one, yeah. Thank God for gift cards, because that did save us bad gift givers.
That's the thing is, I used to at one point think I was a good gift giver, and now I realize I'm a terrible gift giver because my wife's gifts are always thoughtful, fun, and not always like expensive either, extravagant. So that's my if I'm like, last minute, I'm like, go pricey. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that was dumb.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the same boat. And my sons are both. They're having meetings with their grandparents of like what to get each kid. I'm like, where do you all get this from? It ain't from me.
And this is another thing why, women are more thoughtful than men. It just is. And if you're a thoughtful dude, you're a unicorn. I got away with before I met my wife, I never got family gifts. I didn't even get my parents gifts, right? Then I met my wife, and it's like all of a sudden, she's taking care of the whole family. And, my mom, they'll never say it, but now there's an expectation for my parents now. There's an expectation. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. What about the days I got you nothing? Ridiculous.
Oh, the good old days.
But yeah, so I gotta try to figure out, what we're gonna get, what I gotta get my wife. Luckily she's so great. She takes care of the kids stuff, and my kids are getting older too. So it's, kind of starting to be like, money or this, that, and the other. But she's thoughtful. I get excited because I'm like, I think she's going to give me something cool. I'm going to get something awesome.
Love it.
But yeah, that is fantastic. Walgreens.
Yeah, a Walgreens food processor. So that
Do you still have it?
No, I don't think the thing even worked. I think I put a carrot in there.
You forgot to buy the batteries.
I got the wrong attachment or something, but it did not work. It would not process a carrot. So
that is awesome. Well, good. Eat a raw carrot. No more processed foods. America.
No more food processing on the Minnick household.
There we go.
But anyway, y'all, what a great fun episode. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And Jared, I'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Gobble, gobble, everybody.
Woo! Gobble, gobble.